2024, July 4th. This video is about how I so far caught 4 rats in 2 days. 2 rats in each day. Today and yesterday. Perhaps today I will catch a third one for today, which is the 5th one overall. But I doubt it. The 5th one will have to wait for tomorrow. Or perhaps I will manage to catch it today. So this method is cheaper and easier than all of what I heard on YouTube and outside of YouTube. And I used a really bad type of a trap which fails more than it works. This is counting relative to the times when a rat enters the trap. So in most instances when a rat, if I count every time a rat enters the trap, more than half of the time the rat escaped it alive. Either the trap failed to close at all, which I saw 2 rats simultaneously inside the trap and they both got out free. And in one case, when I ambushed a rat, I used the tool to press on the part of the trap which is meant to be stepped on. The trap did close, but the rat managed to escape it. So this trap deserves no advertisement. And if you use another type of a trap, your trap is probably better than mine, or at least as good. And I also did not clean or rearrange anything in my apartment or outside of my apartment. I arranged nothing, I cleaned nothing, and I did not follow YouTube's guideline and outside of YouTube's guidelines as to the amount of traps, as to the sterilization measures meant to keep the trap human scent free. If anything, and in this case, because the trap is a failure, and I used gloves and did not wash my hands prior to touching the trap, the rats grew accustomed to the trap, and therefore, and because they entered my house, they also, my scent and the smells of foods which I put in the trap and have in my apartment, they grow accustomed to all of it. And they grow accustomed to the trap because it is such a failure. Seriously, it is a bad type of a trap. And because of it, they manage to enter, eat from the trap, get out. All well for them. On most occasions, all well for them. So a good trap would have worked better. But because of how bad this trap is, it is still usable. It will just take more food and time to trap all the rats. A better trap would have done the same work with less food and less time. This is the difference. I do recommend better traps. This video is not about the quality of traps don't matter. It matters. No, it may be more critical than in my case, because of the other factors that I will mention in this video. So, for months, I was helpless against the rats. I put the trap outside. I put foods in it. It never worked. No rat ever entered it, or perhaps in one occasion a rat did, and anyway, it caught nothing for months. Most of the time, to be honest, it was inside my apartment, because I saw that it catches nothing, so I stopped deploying it even. So it was inside my house, apartment, not house. I do not live in a house. The vast majority of humanity does not live in houses these days. Sadly, I too do not live in a house. I might one day, if I will be lucky. So, what I did was that in a certain time, the rats started liking a certain entrance to my apartment. It is through a window which slides to the side. I will show this window. The window is this window. I cannot rotate it while I film, so I will rotate. I will physically rotate the device so it will show the window. This is where I place the trap. I am not showing it because it does something now. It is in some use now, and it does not deserve any advertisement because it is a very, very bad trap. The trap, I put it here in this place. You can think that I am imagining, I am lying. This is where I placed the trap. I hope that it showed, because I do not see what I filmed when I rotated the device. So I placed it there. The rats grew accustomed to enter my apartment from there, where I showed, and because of it, I placed the trap there. I placed food in it, and because it is a bad trap, they grew accustomed to eat from it and escape alive, and escape it without anything happening. It became a feeding station to them. So one thing which helped only a little was that I oiled the hook of the trap. This was an advice that I got from the salesman who sold it to me. It was really a bad trap. I contacted the salesman to tell him that it does not work after I saw two rats simultaneously inside the traps, and they got outside and it did not even close. To get inside simultaneously, to get outside, nothing happened. So in a way, it seems like the trap being bad turned good, but it is not true. Again, it is just that it took more time and it still worked. There were some things to circumvent the problem, but these things cost more time, more food for the mice, and more labor, supervision, manual time. Manual meaning an active ambush instead of the trap working automatically like it should. So in most cases it did not work at all. The 4 which I caught in 2 days were only a minority of the cases in which the rats entered the trap. As I said, in one case, 2 entered simultaneously and got outside. In one case, in more than one case, a single rat entered and got outside without anything happening. In one case, I ambushed the rat. I stood near the trap with a tool to push the part that is meant to be stepped on from the side or from outside of the trap, and to make it work, because automatically it usually fails. So in one case in which I ambushed a rat, I managed to close it, but the rat managed to escape because it did not close in time. The first rat which I caught this way in an ambush, half automatically, mostly manually, using the trap, but manually. I had to stand there, let it in, and only then I pressed, and then it closed and I caught it. The second and the third, it managed to work automatically. And the fourth, again, was an ambush. So in 2 out of 4 cases, it was an ambush, and in 2 out of 4 cases, it was automatic. And in more cases than 4, they entered, they got out, they ate, and they entered, they ate, they got out, nothing happened. What also played in my favor was that the season and the heat outside, the rats try to escape the heat. And my apartment during the day, not from the morning, but from around the noon, they try to escape the heat outside by entering my apartment, which is cooler during from the noon to the evening. My apartment is cooler than the outside. During the night it is warmer than the outside, despite that I keep the windows open at night. So I also use a little air conditioning to try to cool it and dry it during the day. A little because it more dry. Air conditioning recommendations need another video, so I will not deal with it in this video because it will be too long for the average YouTube viewer, so I will keep it outside of this video. So the heat outside played in my favor. The rats tried to escape the heat by entering the apartment. The only opening for them, the easier entrance for through that opening is where I place the trap, and I keep food in it so that they will not try to bypass the trap by climbing over it or bypassing it from the side, because the food is in the trap. What I used as bait are peanut butter snacks, bread, and hard cheeses. What I do not recommend to put in rats or mice traps are sausages and meat products such as salami, such as pastrama, because such as pork, such as whatever meat product you like or they like, because these will attract cats or even dogs, and these may chase the rats from the vicinity of the trap, or even move the trap from where it is placed, or make it or close it and disable it by doing so, at least for as long as it is not reactivated. So I already said what to use as a bait. I also said how the season and the weather played in my favor in this case, because again, for months I was helpless until I made them accustomed to enter my apartment through a certain crucial entrance, and I placed the trap there, placed baits in the trap. Again, nothing fancy in these baits. You do not need to buy special baits for rats. You can use foods, as I already said. And the trap, as I also said, does not deserve any advertisement. Even if you think that if it worked for me, it may work for you, and it is, if it works, then it works. So no, you buy another one, it will probably be better than mine. I will not advertise it. It is not an advertisement video, and it is a bad product which fails to work most of the time. And I also do not want to make this video as a warning for that type of trap, because I do not want to mess with the industry and the salesmen that are behind this bad trap. So and I will also not show you the evidence, so you can think that I am lying here, because I do not want to violate YouTube's policies. I do not want to get strikes. I do not want to get demonetized one day, not even in this one video. So you can think I may be lying. This video may be a lie, and you can take from it what you want. You can ignore it. You can follow the advice that are on YouTube, which are much more expensive and harder to do, such as deploying a big number of traps and placing them strategically near the walls, near the fence, in every place. This may work better than what I did in the sense that it may work quicker, but it will be much more expensive. I bought 2 traps. I only used one so far. Never more than one was deployed. The other is still in its box. Rats and mice are not as intelligent as the legends, as folk legends made me believe. If you stand next to them, in front of them, and you do not move, they see you. You do not move anything. They do not care. I doubt if they even see you. I doubt to what extent they even see you, because they are more interested in movement, not in. If they see you, I do not even know if they know that you are alive, as long as you do not move. So and I doubt that this they see you from more than I do not know, 20-40 centimeters distance. I doubt it. So even if they see you when you ambush them, you do not move, they do not care. And if they grew accustomed to enter your apartment, your smell does not stress them, does not alarm them. The smells, they are also go accustomed to the smells of your foods in your apartment. And you should also not try to chase them from your window. Do not try to chase them. In fact, retreat when they get close to the window. This way they will grow accustomed to use the vicinity of your window as some sort of a perceived refuge for them. So they grow to view the outside vicinity of your window as a refuge, and you place the trap inside your apartment, when they enter the trap through the window, and you care that there will always be food in the trap, perhaps even water if they do not have a water source outside, but they probably have water source outside, or there would have been no rats outside. So, and if the weather is such that they try to escape the heat, then your window is the only way for them to escape the heat into your apartment, through the window into the trap. If your trap is good, then one entrance to it means one caught rat. If your trap is bad, it means more than one entrance through the trap is required to catch each rat in average, and they grow accustomed to the trap. They do not view it as a trap because they grow accustomed to enter it, eat from it, and get outside, and nothing happened. This is not an endorsement of bad traps. It just shows you that even if your trap is bad, there are things you can still do to make it work. Not an endorsement, not an advertisement. You saw that I did not show the trap in the video because it does not deserve it. And what else should I say about this? What did I forgot to say? I think so. Again, 4 rats in 2 days. 2 rats in each day, yesterday and today. The 5th is on its way. It may be the 5th may come today. Probably we'll have to wait for tomorrow. And evidence I prefer to not show because of what I said. YouTube's guidelines, policies, family friendly, whatever. So this may be a big lie, and you can also I should mention that the rats in my case try to escape the heat by entering my apartment, but it can also work the other way. It may be, in your case, perhaps very cold outside, and they may try to escape the cold by entering your apartment, and the same thing will work. You can place your trap the way that I showed, and it may work just as well for the same reasons. Perhaps if in extreme enough cold, they may even stay in the trap because in my case they did not try to stay for more than a few minutes in the trap. They always got inside it, ate, or tried to enter the apartment and discovered that they cannot do it from inside the trap, and got outside. So the heat outside does not scare them that much, but I think that it plays a role in them trying to find refuge from the heat inside my apartment, because they only try to enter my apartment during the times not exactly overlapping, but from about when it gets warmer outside than inside until from about 11 in the morning to until perhaps 3 in the noon. So it is still warmer outside after 4. But they do not try to enter my apartment after 3 or 4. I do not know why. Perhaps the temperature differences do not play the role in my case that I thought that they do. Perhaps they do, but it is again, it is something to consider. Even if it is not the reason in my case, it may play a bigger role in your case. And again, rats are not as intelligent, and their sight is quite short, and they are more interested in movement than in what they see blurred outside of their effective vision range. If you stand still with your tool in your trap, in case when you need to manually ambush them, and your trap is bad enough so it does not work automatically often enough, you can count of them being dumb enough, yes, short-sighted enough, movement focused enough. They do not try to analyze the view, what they see. No, they look for an immediate movement and for sudden sounds and quakes, physical pulses in their environment, and smells, and they also smell, but if they learn to invade human apartments, they also go accustomed to human smell, so it does not deter them. So this is why it is not so important to not touch the trap with your hands, with the palms of your hands, as I heard inside and outside of YouTube. This is an exaggeration. You can quite forget it. I do not know. Perhaps the people that said it dealt with the genius rats, and I was lucky. Am lucky to deal with retarded rats. I do not know. I dubbed it. I dubbed it the rats in my apartment are dumber than the rats that those people dealt with. No need to rearrange your yard and apartment to place the rats in all strategic places adjacent to walls and to fences. No need to you should find one crucial passage in which they grow accustomed to pass. You make this passage a good passage for them. They learn to find food there, and you place the trap there. They end baits, nothing fancy or expensive, as I already said, in the trap. And if need be, which is 2 out of 4, that's in my case, if need be, you ambush the rats manually, which is a bad thing to do because it is a waste of time. It would have been much better if the trap worked flawlessly, automatically, as it did in 2 out of 4 of the mice, and 2 out of many more than 4 cases in which my rats entered the trap. But if you should oil the hook if the trap is not new, maybe even if it is new. In my case, the trap is less than 1 year old. It was very little time outside, not in the rain even. Most of the time, which was not even a long time in which it was outside, it was under a roof, even when it was outside, never in the rain. And so it is not that the trap got spoiled. No, the trap was bad to begin with. It is far from responsive enough, far from reactive enough, far from sensitive enough. But even in this case, there is things you can do. You can use it with in additional tool to press the stepper in an ambush, which works. Not every time, but sometimes. You can oil the hook of the trap, and with enough opportunities of all of these, you manage to catch rats even with a bad trap. Perhaps if it was even better, it would not have worked, but it does. 4 rats in 2 days, 2 today, 2 yesterday. There is a 5th one, perhaps a 6th. The 5th one is on its way to get caught. Probably not today, probably today. This was it for this video.